Have you ever really wondered how AI actually works? I'm not talking about the big sci-fi ideas, but the real nuts and bolts. Today, we're going to break it down and build an AI system right from the ground up. We'll start with the tiniest little piece and scale all the way to a full-on collaborative AI team. Let's dive in.
So this is the big question, right? How in the world does an AI go from just predicting the next word in a sentence to something that could actually manage a complex project or even run parts of a business? I know it sounds like a massive leap, almost like science fiction, but that's exactly what's happening right now. And by the end of this, you'll see exactly how it's done.
All right, here's our roadmap. We're going to start with the absolute foundation, these things called tokens. Then, we'll see how they get bundled into useful skills. After that, we'll give those skills to an autonomous agent, and then we'll assemble a whole team of them into what's called a multi-agent system. Finally, we'll see how the whole thing comes together. So let's start at the very beginning.
Okay, section 1, tokens. Every single thing a complex AI does, I mean everything, whether it's writing code, analyzing data, creating images, it all starts right here, with the smallest, most fundamental unit of language, the token.
So what is a token really? Well, it's the smallest piece of text a language model can actually think about. It could be a whole word like AI or just a part of a word, or even just a simple comma or a period. The best way to think about it is this. Tokens are the Lego bricks. They're the little pieces the AI uses to build absolutely everything, from simple sentences to really complex ideas.
And this slide shows it perfectly. We read the sentence, AI is powerful. But the AI, it sees 4 separate Lego bricks. The token AI, the token is, the token powerful, and the token for the period. This is the real language that the AI is speaking under the hood.
So why do we even care about this? Because tokens have huge real-world consequences. It's simple. More tokens equals more money and more time. It costs more to process them, and every single AI model has something called a context window, which is basically a hard limit on how many tokens it can remember at one time. If you go over that limit, the AI literally forgets the beginning of your conversation. So tokens aren't just text, they are the basic currency of AI.
So we have our Lego pieces, our tokens. Now, what can we actually build with them? This is where we move up a level and see how these little bricks get assembled into actual skills.
A skill is pretty much what it sounds like, a defined capability that we give the AI. It might be something built in, like being able to summarize a long document, or it could be a connection to an outside tool, like giving it the ability to search the web. You know the best analogy I've heard? Think of skills as apps that you install directly onto the AI's operating system.
And the range of these skills is just massive. As you can see here, they can be cognitive, like understanding and summarizing info. They can be analytical, like finding bugs in a piece of code. They can be tool-based, which lets the AI go out and search the web for live data. Or they can even be creative, like scripting an entire video. Each new skill you add is a huge leap forward in what that AI can actually do.
Okay, we've got building blocks and we've got apps. Now we need someone or something to actually use them. And this is where the agent comes in. This is the part that brings all of this to life and gives the AI the power to act on its own.
So what exactly is an AI agent? Well, it's an autonomous system that has a goal. It perceives information, it plans out its next moves, and it uses its skills to get stuff done. Let's stick with our analogy. If a skill is an app, the agent is the digital employee who knows how to use all those apps to achieve an objective.
Let's peek under the hood for a second. Every agent is basically running on a core loop. It starts with a goal. Then it looks at the skills and tools it has available. It uses its memory of what's happened so far to inform a planner, which decides on the most logical next step. And finally, an executor actually carries out that action. This loop, this cycle, is the engine that drives AI autonomy.
But it's really important to know there's a big difference here. On one side, you have a static agent. Think of a very basic chatbot. You ask a question, it gives an answer, and that's it. The interaction is over. But on the other side, you have a dynamic agent. This is way more like a personal research assistant. It can handle complex, multi-step jobs like finding a bunch of sources, analyzing them all, and then writing a full report for you.
One digital employee is powerful, for sure. But what happens when you create an entire digital workforce? Well, that brings us to multi-agent systems, where we scale up from a single worker to a fully coordinated team.
Let's look at a really practical example. Imagine you have a project manager AI that gets a task. Now, instead of trying to do all the work itself, it acts like a conductor. It delegates to specialized sub-agents. It tells the research agent to go gather info, then passes that to an analysis agent to crunch the numbers. After that, a writer agent drafts the report, and finally, a reviewer agent checks it for quality. The main agent isn't doing the work, it's managing the workflow.
And that's the core idea right there. When you have multiple agents collaborating, communicating, maybe even competing, they form what's known as a multi-agent system. And this isn't just theory, this is being built right now with powerful software frameworks that act as the communication backbone, letting all these digital employees work together like a real team.
Okay, so we've seen all the individual pieces of the puzzle. We've got the tokens, the skills, the agents. Now, let's put it all together and watch a full AI team in action with a real-world example.
Imagine a startup research AI. You give it a query. The main research manager agent gets that query. It immediately tasks a data collector sub-agent to use its web search skill. The results come pouring back, and a summarizer sub-agent uses its skill to boil it all down to the key points. Then, an analyst agent steps in to identify market trends before a final writer agent drafts the report. You see, every single step involves an agent using a specific skill, and all of it is powered by processing those tiny little tokens.
So let's put this all together one last time with our analogies. The token is the Lego brick. The skill is the app you build with those bricks. The agent is the digital employee who uses that app. A sub-agent is just a specialized worker in one department. And the multi-agent system? That's the entire company. We've literally gone from a single brick to a complete, functioning digital organization.
So that's the whole journey, from a single token just trying to predict the next word, all the way to an entire team of AIs running a project. And it leaves us with a really big, critical question for the future. As these AI companies build themselves out, what new roles will we create to work alongside them? Something to think about. Thanks for joining me on this explainer.